323rd webinar. So that was also a horrible experience. So again, I would like to welcome you all on World Biofuel Day. Our webinar is generally being related to Ayurveda or Ayush, but the biofuel is the necessity of the age, necessity of the era, and that is also being produced with herbs, trees, etc., cellulose materials. So without wasting much time, I would like to request, अग्निहोत्री जी आप बोल सकते हैं क्या? नहीं बोल सकते. So I would like to welcome our first speaker, Professor Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji, to guide us. Welcome, sir.
Okay, good evening. I will share the screen. Hello. Pawanji, I will share the screen. Pawanji, I will share the screen. Screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Respected D.K. Agnihotri ji, Pawan Kumar Sharma ji, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today is World Biofuel Day. Biofuel is a fuel that is produced over a short time span from biomass rather than by the very slow natural processes involved in the formation of fossil fuel, such as oil, since biomass can be used as a biofuel directly. So I will myself, Professor Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma from Guwahati, Assam. So biofuel is a type of renewable energy source derived from microbial, plant, or animal material. Biofuel can be solid, liquid, or gaseous. Liquid and gaseous form are easier to transport, deliver, and buy cleanly. Why biofuel? It is economic growth, population explosion, increasing cost of fossil fuel, climate change. Commonly used plant, sugarcane. Sugarcane provide high energy fuel for machine as well as people. For biofuel, it comes from sugarcane, which is mostly grown in tropical region. Distilling the juice creates bioethanol, which can fuel vehicle. The recycle known as bagasse and the can stock can be burned, produce bioelectricity. So everybody knows this sugarcane plant. Palm oil. This is extracted from the fruits of the oil palm tree, which is cultivated in Southeast Asia, South America, and Africa. Besides its use as food, soap, industry, and animal feed, it is an established biofuel. So this is the palm oil. Rapeseed oil, also known as canola. The oil is used in animal feed and increasingly human food. It is also being converted to biodiesel, which can be used in most engines without conversion. Evidence from the new research so our current knowledge on is inadequate to understand their contribution in social and environmental benefits. Presently, this species has received much attention because of its immense role in biodiesel production, eco-friendly fuel, biodegradable, renewable, and non-toxic in nature compared to petrodiesel, except few carcinogenic compounds found in oil cake. Then again, corn, it is used in Ayurvedic medicine also. So medicinal use reduce the risks of anemia, energy enhancer, helpful for weight gain, low blood sugar, cholesterol, helpful in pregnancy-induced diabetes. Again, from soybean also, oil is used. So these are the medicinal use. Castor, again, is the castor plant. Castor oil is prepared. Castor plant is perennial shrub that can grow up to 3 to 5 meter long and found across all the tropical and subtropical area of the globe. Castor oil has numerous industrial and medicinal applications, and its demand is increasing. The demand for castor oil derivative is growing as they are biodegradable, cheap, and readily available. Sunflower. The high oil content of sunflower seed, often over 40%, makes it an excellent choice for the biofuel crops because it is already grown widely for use as food oil. Agronomic practices are well established for regions where the sunflower is common in field rotation. Medicinal use, it improves strength, immunity, decreased risks of coronary arterial disease, decreased serum, hepatic cholesterol, anti-inflammatory properties. These are the some for medicinal. Again, algae. All the species of the family Chlorophyceae, that is all the green algae, are used as a biofuel, rich in micronutrients, used in cancer treatment. Cotton seed. Cotton seed is an ideal source of biodiesel production. Medicinal use, disease use, lower LDL, nausea, fever, headache. Cotton itself used dressing material in hospital. Wheat. Biofuels are produced from the agricultural waste such as wheat straw, husks, leaves, etc., which contain an appropriate amount of polysaccharide, which can be converted into biofuels by undergoing different processes. So these are the medicinal use. So thank you. So biofuel is most important.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your nice and excellent presentation. Excellent presentation. Now I would like to invite Dr. Deven Chand Barua ji. He is professor and head of the Department of Energy in Tezpur University. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. First of all, I greet all of you on this very important day, World Biofuel Day. And also, though it has been a very brief, history of my association with your organization. Maybe I think I got the invitations very recently, and I am thankful to you contacting me or giving me a chance to speak about biofuel on this very important day of World Biofuel Day. Already, my previous speaker, Dr. Sharma, has given a brief account of the biofuel, the applications of different plant materials, its uses for biofuel production, as well as its other uses, including the medicinal use. This will help me definitely to check the trend and then share my views or whatever the little I have learned during this as a teacher, as your humble researcher regarding the biofuel. Maybe I will also like to present few slides, and then we can discuss, keep on discussing as per your questions, if any. I am also sharing Am I audible and my screen is visible?
Yes, excellent. You are very loud and clear.
Thank you very much. So this Biofuel Day, as you already know, that is to honor the inventor of the internal combustion engine, IC engine, or if you choose diesel engine, Rudolf Diesel. And then the invention is one part. It's a really a landmark invention if you understand the history of this developmental history of humankind. And then perhaps Rudolf Diesel wanted that his technology, what is invented, should also be self-reliant, Atmanirbhar, that we tell now, that we have the idea now, that technology to also be fueled. And then he considered peanut oil to test his engine, and he was successful. Any oil is a hydrocarbon, could be converted into a source of energy to produce heat by combustion in an appropriate device or process. The heat of combustion then can be used to convert into the mechanical power, and that simple conception has been used. And first, perhaps Rudolf Diesel was the first to test it in his own engine, and that way, that's how this today's 10th August is considered as a World Biofuel Day. Your growth and development of this mankind, human being, that you understand, economic development, technological development, advancements, all rely on the technology, and then technology is fueled and supported by the energy system, and then fossil-based energy system have been or has been supporting this. First, the coal. We had abundant coal reserve, people could identify, and then burning of coal could release heat, and that heat is used for energy generation, for conversion into this mechanical power that all of you know. Where from coal comes? Coal is also the biomass, or you could say literally it's also a biofuel. And then the process of generation or production of coal is nothing but the photosynthesis. As all of you know, I was also working on that. The product plant materials, the production of this photosynthesis. The only difference is that this photosynthesized carbon, or you could say hydrocarbon more specifically and correctly, got trapped inside the earth, and from historical atmospheric carbon, which was trapped long back, is now released in the form of coal. First form of energy people learned using, and then the petroleum, crude petroleum, it's also nothing but this hydrocarbon only, mostly coming from this fatty origin of these animals or other your products or life systems, and then natural gas. All these coal, petroleum, and then natural gas has given enough lift to this human development, and humans started enjoying this comfort and then luxury of using it. Recently, when it is realized that, first realization was that one day it will be exhausted, will not have enough material to enjoy this luxury, and then in parallel to that, another tip that releasing that carbon, trapped carbon from the underground to the atmosphere, increasing this layer of this greenhouse gas, enhancement of this greenhouse gas effect would cause or is causing this global warming, unnatural warmth of this globe, and that is causing this climate change. The amount of this carbon that we are releasing anthropogenically from this energy system, and then disturbances that Earth has experienced, has been conclusively evidenced, and there is a parallel correlation, a positive correlation, and that has led the people to understand or to know or to search for an alternative system of energy.
Your slides are not moving, doctor.
I'll show you. I'm giving the background. Slide will take not much take time. I'm giving the background. So then
No, stage is yours. Please take time.
No problem. No problem. So now this renewable system, so energy system, consisting of solar energy, which itself is a fundamental source of energy for all sources of energy, can be directly harnessed in the form of electricity by solar photovoltaic or by solar thermal, is the number one, or you could say the one of the renewable systems of sources of energy. Wind energy, the moving mass, we can trap somewhere, we can get its mechanical energy and again generate electricity. The flow of a moving water, its energy, we can trap it in the form of hydroelectricity. The energy, thermal energy trapped underneath, we can also get it in the form of geothermal energy, is also renewable energy. Oceans energy systems in different form, its movement of water as well as the density difference in this along the depth of this liquid are also trapped. That way, these sources are renewable energy because it is renewable, resource is enough abundant, we cannot finish it. The flow of mass of moving mass cannot be finished very soon, quickly, unlike coal, diesel, and oil or petroleum. Similarly, wind, water flow, those are renewable. It has minimum damage or no damage, no degradation to the adverse impact on the environment. Along with that, the biomass system is also considered a new, or renewable, that as Mr. Prasad Sharma has already been elaborated. So biomass, he has given a good description of it. I will just start from when he completes or he finishes. There are enough biomass. Biomass is a hydrocarbon. The nature of the biomass is different. Accordingly, you could derive this biomass. You can convert these biomasses into different forms of materials. As he is rightly says, maybe solid material, maybe liquid material, or maybe gaseous material. These are called the fuel system. And this fuel that you get, these fuel systems from these biomasses through this different process. I will also highlight some of the processes are called renewable energy and a biofuel system. One important part is that we have enough biomass because it is a product of photosynthesis. We need a land or water mass to support this. We need some nutrition systems to get this conversion of the photosynthesis, and the biomass availability is enough. Our food systems, we rely on them. Other your natural organisms all rely directly or indirectly on the food systems, and the photosynthesis is helping us. And then biomass we are getting. Availability wise, the abundance wise, we are comfortable. Now let us see the different pathways of this biomass to energy conversion. Directly, we could say we have been traditionally using the fuel wood. Not only we are using it traditional means, even first industrial revolution was based on the wood only. Even now, if we visit those tea gardens in South India, we will find that their tea are being processed using this wood. This is nothing but biofuel, we can say. This biofuel, if we give complete oxygen of full air, that is, it will generate heat only and the exhaust gas. This is heat can be converted into electricity or a process heat. That is the first one type of conversion of this into energy. If we reduce the supply of air or oxygen, then there will be partial combustion, and then output will be hydrogen and carbon monoxide. Both have calorific value and fuel value, and this mixture of carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and nitrogen from air would be a mixture is called synthetic gas or producer gas. This gas, we can burn it as a gaseous fuel in a burner or stove, get the heat, do our work, cooking, including cooking or space heating, or we can, with proper cleaning or proper upgrading, it can also be put into an engine to generate mechanical energy or electricity. So this process is called gasification. Again, if we do not use any air and then generate or combust it or allow this to pyrolyze or burn without air, then we'll get this solid biomass converted into liquid streams. This also could be converted further into either chemical generations or directly for productions of heat. So this is called thermal route of utilization of biomass. Here we can get the liquid or gas or directly heat. There are other ways too. One is that production of ethanol, as Professor Sharma has rightly says, those sugar-based biomasses where it is mostly hydrocarbon but sugar-based characteristics. We can do some treatment, we can allow it to be fermented under the action of microbes, and we can get a petroleum-like fuel that is called ethanol. Or we can most appropriately use it bioethanol. This bioethanol has been recommended in many countries, either in a blending mode or 100% blending for vehicular or automobile services, for support of this automobile as a substitute of our petroleum fuel. In India also, of late, there is a policy for blending of ethanol with petroleum fuel, so that ethanol we can produce indigenously, and then we can reduce our reliance on this export grade petroleum fuel. In Assam also we have a good news. If it comes, the bamboo is tried to convert into ethanol by Numaligarh refinery. Hopefully, if this is successful, then the grower particularly will be economically benefited. We can reduce the dependency on this fossil-based crude oil, and thereby we can contribute to the carbon footprint, positive carbon footprint, and reduce this carbon dioxide generations by burning the petroleum. This is one, ethanol. Another route is that if we allow this biomass, mostly the decomposable biomass, in a reactor under the action of some microbes, those microbes are called methanogenic microbes, it will generate this our materials, mostly decomposable materials, including cow dung or anything that decomposes easily. We'll get the methane out of that because these are methanogenic bacteria. This methanogenic bacteria will convert into methane. Methane is CH4, and this, if we could purify, process, we can get compressed natural gas as good as it is natural gas that is used in engine, the CNG vehicle. Government of India has really very serious to produce transport get bio-CNG or compressed biogas. In fact, in India, before since pre-independence era, biogas has been considered as a household fuel for supporting this cooking fuel need in the rural areas using cow dung or other crop residues. And to some extent it is successful, but there are some other issues too. At present, as per this official report, there are 5 millions of household biogas plants with different degrees of success story. Again, we can also get, if our biomass is fatty. Now, I'm taking more time. Any interruption for me? Shall I continue?
Please continue. Please continue. Your speech is excellent, sir. Please continue.
Okay,
Time has no boundary for you.
okay, thank you. Now, if, as you rightly says, if we have woody biomass or biomass of that kind, we can. I'm just giving your repetitions of this whatever I've told so far, so that it will be people will have no confusions to understand. If we have woody biomass, the woody type of biomass, we can directly combust, get heat, use electrical energy. We can gasify them in a reactor under partial oxidations. We can get a fuel called producer gas that also can be burned in a gaseous form or can be run an engine, or you can also directly pyrolyze, convert them into liquid. That is also a high value fuel. Or if our biomass is a sugar based, just like sugarcane, or the waste product of sugarcane called molasses, or potato, or maize, or that kind, where rich in sugar material C6H12O6, we can ferment them. Even in recent times, we have heard that particularly our Honorable Ministry of Road Transport, that Kerezi was telling that why can't we use those all waste rice in FCI into a fuel? This is nothing but this fermentation route, and then microwave reactions converting this alcohol or ethanol. So this is this, or ethanol production we need a sugar-based or starch-based product or raw material. Or if this raw material or any kind of raw material which can be rotten, anything which decomposes easily, we can convert into a methane. If we can get a reactor means a closed space and some inoculum. Cow dung is the best source of inoculum because in animal system there are enough methanogenic bacteria and you can get it. Even crop residues or any type of thing, waste products for your kitchen leftover, anything could be converted into methane. Interestingly, we cannot get methane alone, we get carbon dioxide too. In an ideal reactors, biogas reactor, we can call biogas systems, 60% is mostly the methane, 40% is carbon dioxide. If we do not purify them, for example, mostly if our system is too small, 2 meter cube or 3 meter cube, it is said that in Indian conditions, 2 meter cube size is enough or supporting the family of 5. Small systems, purification is an issue. If we can have a bigger systems, we can purify them and then we can get CNG, compressed natural gas. This is all. Up to that I did already spoken. Then, if we have oil type of seed, for example, as Professor Sharma has says that you have this canola seed or sunflower seed, those seeds or any type of oil seeds, there are your saturation fatty acids, same. And these oily materials could be converted into another your fuel type of material. This is having the characteristics or properties close to diesel, and this is called biodiesel. There are different routes, chemical process to convert this oily material into biodiesel. Even waste cooking oil can be converted into biodiesel. We need some catalyst or we need some agent, intermediate agent to convert them into biodiesel. And biodiesel and glycerol. Glycerol is a byproduct of the systems, and diesel-like material, which is called biodiesel, is a biofuel. So for that, we do not need sugar-based, we do not need woody-based, we do not need decomposable biomass. We need oily biomass. And here, in this oily biomass, even now, the recent addition is this algae biomass. Algae, very promising scope. People are looking at that. We have vast sources of water body. We can grow algae, and this algae has enough lipid, and that can be converted into biodiesel, bio-oil or biodiesel. Here, we need a process that could convert it biodiesel. For biodiesel, we have enough, all your tree-borne oil seeds or any oil seeds can be converted to biodiesel. However, as per policy is concerned in India, any food material is not allowed to be converted into fuel. We have this very clear-cut policy that food material cannot be converted into fuel. That's how your sunflower oil or jatropha oil is not a fuel, it's non-edible, it is allowed. But sunflower oil, canola oil, source oil, any type of oil, it is not allowed in India to be converted into biodiesel. Similarly, sugar directly cannot be converted, but the waste part of the sugar, molasses, can be converted. What about the bioethanol we are getting? All from non-edible sources. If rice is waste, then it's non-edible, then can be converted into your ethanol. Otherwise, the edible oil, fuel grain is not allowed to be converted into. This is a policy in India, and this policy is due to that there are critics and there are some really in social that they said that if we allow anything to be converted into fuel, there may be the crisis, controversy of fuel and feed. People may go to convert into fuel, and then some stomach will still be remain in hunger. That's how this policy is in favor of, not in favor of converting the feed material into fuel. So this is about this overview of this biofuel production. Issues already, as we said, that biofuel, as far as resources are concerned, is that you need a land or water resources, as you have said. Water resources mainly, many plants are grown in water, as well as algae. This is only here. And what's the DR? We should understand what are the issues. Some issues that we need technology for conversions. As far as indigenous technology is concerned, as far as self-reliant technology is concerned, we are not 100% confident in all these routes as I have shown. But we have good strength in many ways, but not 100% technological strength. Economy, the converge, I will give you some examples of these economical considerations, or also not 100%. It will not also score 100%. Policy, confusing policy here. I will not be getting time to discuss with you, but there are many works to be done to have a clear-cut policy in support of biofuel. Maturity and learning experience, also not 100% matured. After sales and service support network, that will be must for having a decentralized system of biofuel generations throughout the country. Obviously, if technology is there, then only it will come. technology competitiveness, which to compete, we'll have to compete with this fossil fuel. Though we have several disadvantages in the fossil fuel as far as environment is concerned, but with its hundreds of years of experience and establishment, it is this only source of only network which is suitable, and people are still using it, liking it. And then we do not have yet a biofuel technology in equivalent to and fossil fuel technology, both in explorations, both in processing, both in transportation. R&D support. Yes, many government, many universities, many government-owned research organizations are working on it, but the fund available still is a question. I'm just sharing with you very quickly some of the examples that we are working or we have been working. A local tea factory here wanted to supplement or replace their thermal load, which they mostly use for either for natural gas or from coal, using in bamboo in gasifier systems. They have a 200 kilowatt gasifier systems, and bamboo is a source. But it ran for some time. It produces good quantity of gas, but only thing is that we do not have technology for using this gas in a burner to use it for tea. Tea is a very sensitive material, all of you know. Tea is very sensitive as far as aroma is concerned. The aroma of the smell or this flavor or some particles that is coming out of burning of this bamboo generated producer gas was not favoring to maintain the desired level of quality for tea, and that industry had to stop it. The technology is required as far as production of thermal energy is concerned, as far as production of gas is concerned, it's 100%. But as far as application is concerned, maybe some R&D was still missing. Again, if we need to see, if we need to convert and get us complete supply chain of this biomass, we need to understand who will be supporting and who will be doing and who will be beneficial. And then we should also understand that what type of intervention is required. Bamboo is a grass, no problem, bamboo growing and bamboo cutting. But we need some processing. Any senses of this bamboo, we cannot use this whole bamboo for biofuel productions. We need to be cut into spear or pieces. Then cutting, processing, it also the economy or financial involvement, cost involvement here is also influences or governs the cost that will be required to have this technology. This is nothing to do with this technology, but this supply chain, if I am getting it, at what price I'm getting, and at what price I'm getting it, at what steps. We do not have a commercial network or supply chain for this type of resources, though we have abundant resources, but that need to some interventions, maybe private interventions, maybe public interventions to make it success. This is still missing. This is another example which was used in this biscuit factory. It is also very successful. But thing is that initially the cost of using this bamboo for biscuit production in an oven, replacing the diesel, was favoring the user, the biscuit bakery. But at one point of time, the uncertainty of supplying this bamboo was really a problem for the user, and then he stopped it. Number one issue. Number two issue is that this bamboo generated technology, bamboo to producer gas generated technology needs frequent cleaning. There's a technological disadvantage. And then these bamboo biscuit factory workers are not agreeing to involve in this cleaning business. And petty husk was another alternative biofuel used in India, in Assam. If you go to roadside dhaba, mostly rice husk is used nowadays, replacing the coal in this production of thermal energy in this tea stall. This one of the biscuit industries uses this petty husk successfully. But again, issue is that the cleaning, they could not continue. We tried the hostel kitchen waste in one of the hostels for biogas productions to be supplied to this hostel itself. There are small issues we had to handle. One is that hostel you will get enough food stocks, but you'll have to take care of this source segregation of the plastic. If you cannot maintain it, then it is difficult to run a successful biogas. Biofuel has this type of issues also. We also tried the utilization of those mandirs we have in very famous temple in Tezpur, that's called Mahabhairav temple. The mandir temple premises mostly remains unclean due to those used flowers or used articles. We tried in a biogas reactor, and then we could see a potential of using those materials for biofuel productions, which can be used for preparation of bhoga for this mandir. I'll skip some of those things. Cow dung is good material for biofuel productions. However, there are issues. Modern farming systems would also require modern interventions, ecological interventions for successful utilizations of this biofuel. I'll skip some of those things. In totality, if we understand the strength of this crop residue resources, what this graph says that what about the total LPG import to our country, and what about the crop residues available distributed throughout the country, the heat value or energy value is totally balanced. We could see here 924 gigajoule of LPG energy was imported, and we have this enough energy in our crop residue which can produce around 935 billion gigajoule of biomethane that could save burning of these residues and creating enough pollution, provided we have some logistics interventions. Already, the production of biofuel, bio-CNG, and then fertilizers has started. Government of India has taken it, which defines schemes. SATAT is one of the government of Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, and Govt is another. Jal Shakti is another schemes, another big schemes which supporting this biogas. Biogas is produced, it is filled up in this cylinder and then fed to the restaurant or any other thermal applications. Along with this biogas, they also produces biofertilizers. This type of industries has come up, and that is helping is maybe in a good directions to make this India self-reliant. Biodiesel. I will tell about the biodiesel also. We have different non-edible seeds, oil seeds, which could be converted into biodiesel. Here also, yet a complete chain or network of your supply chain has not developed. And then, yet the cost of biodiesel that could be produced at lab scale is still higher than the petrol diesel available in the petrol pump. The production consists of the harvesting, the dehaling, the drying, the transportations, extraction, filtration, processing, and then biodiesel. Yet if the scale of production is low or small, then cost of production is high. And then some of those your non-edible oil seeds, for example, Jatruba, was not a successful experience for India. There are reasons. Jatruba productions requires itself enough input, and that is not economically beneficial when it is converted to biodiesel. This is mostly the presentation side. And then I would love to take some of the questions if you have, so that this interactions becomes lively. I have stopped presenting. I have shown you some of the slides available with me. I must admit honestly, those slides just compiled from different presentations and I put up together. because I was out of sessions, I reached here late afternoon only, and then thought that at least to proceed the discussion, some slides should be shown, and then I bought. I request you, if you have some questions, or if I can at least try, or I learn from you if you have any observations. I think it's muted. I have not heard anything. Shall I stop here?
पवन जी,
Yes, कुछ बोल, आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है तो एक क्वेश्चन डिस्कस कर सकते हैं।
नहीं, अभी यदि ये इसके आगे और है तो ये तो दिस इज mesmerizing and everything is informative for us. So we are learning from you. If it can be continued, please continue.
We can inform, we can discuss also. It can go in discussion mode also. Today, Assam Tribune also published a small articles that I contributed. They in fact invited an article, and then it is published in Assam Tribune. That is called the e-edition. I expressed some of my views regarding this biofuel production, and India should have a strong policy, because as we are going for net zero.
I welcome Madam Parul Joshi ji. Welcome Sunita Pandey ji. Welcome Parul Joshi ji. Are you in comfortable zone?
Yes, sir. I am available.
Thank
I
you.
am waiting for my. I am waiting for Krishna Vadan to upload the PPT so that I can make the presentation. He is going to send to you, sir. Krishna Vadan.
Right. In WhatsApp?
Yes, sir.
Who sent, madam? Yes, please continue, Devanji. In the meantime,
Yes.
I'm.
Yeah. So what I was telling, so that we have to take a very tough decision regarding the fuel shifting, and then we have to shift towards biofuel as well as other renewables. Solar is okay. Only disadvantage with solar is that we need a huge storage system too, because solar availability 5 or 6 hours per day, and then there are variations also, and technology also it is nowadays more matured. And then what about the application technology, particularly the automobile systems or maybe engine systems? We need to rely on some of the fuels, at least for a few years from now. And then we need an alternative to the petrol fuel. Biofuel is the right candidate for the intermediate period. And then, however, public awareness, number one. Number two, government promotion. Number three, some more fund to be made available to give this biofuel a boost. I can say, with my little experience, what about a little available in a rural farm family that is sufficient to support their needs of very two critical your needs. One is that fuel, second is the fertilizer. If those, because it contains enough nutrients, as you know, NPK as well as other micronutrients, all these biomasses. And these biomasses, when it undergoes the decompositions by microbial actions in an anaerobic reactor, the availability increases. And if we carry these streams, one part is a biogas, carbon and methane mixers. Another part is this digested solid liquid, and that is an excellent fertilizer. And we have many technology, actually, as I said, since independence, but there are one or two technological faults. If these faults are being addressed, then at the rural sector, this biomethane, or you could say LPG replacement, and then replacement, partial replacement of these chemical fertilizers will be easier. government should has supported this biogas since long through different promotional schemes with subsidy, with some other infrastructure, and then policy interventions. If the technological interventions are taken, people awareness are also being addressed, then that could be successful. This is one. As far as biodiesel is concerned, it may not be very near, I mean, it may not be very near future that you could get good results, but some replacement of the petrol diesel may be possible if again some interventions are there. For example, biodiesel production requires methanol. Industrial methanol is too costly. Getting the industrial methanol for biodiesel productions, the biodiesel will not be competitive with this petrol diesel. So some policy intervention also will be required. Ethanol is going in right directions. Only thing is that if whatever the ethanol we need at present from non-edible source, we do not have that much of resources, as well as the technology is also in questions. The bamboo case that I have cited you is an technology is from Finland. So again, to go, I mean, a dream to be self-reliant, Atmanirbhar, with again and foreign technology, I don't know how logical it would be. Considering all these things, miles ahead to go, but hopefully with our whatever a little indigenous strength is there, requirement is there, and then government's strong willpower is there, biofuel will be successful. With this, I conclude my whatever the little talk you wanted me to speak. I am really thankful to all of you with patience hearing and then also supporting me, encouraging me, saying that it is a good talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Devanji. Thank you very much. You have highlighted each and everything. Excellent, excellent, very nice. You have nicely presented and elaborated well. Excellent. Now I would like to welcome Dr. P.K. Prajapati ji also. Prajapati ji, pranam, pranam, pranam. Now, our next speaker is Parul Joshi ji. Parul Joshi ji, I have not received any PowerPoint.
No problem, sir. I'll speak without PPT support. I got wonderful slides, and that's why I wanted to present the PPT. I've just reached Gandhinagar. I'm on way home. So, good evening, everybody.
Please tell him again to send me.
He told me he's sending. No problem. I'll speak on my own.
No, but this is a fraction of second. You can continue extempore, and in the meantime, I will receive that. I am not seeing any new number who has sent me anything.
No, he will send. He will send on my WhatsApp this only.
Oh.
He will send on my this only so that you can recognize it.
Have you received?
No, sir, I have not received.
Oh, then I was feeling guilty. Please.
As you wish, sir. आप जैसा बोले.
मतलब आप बोल दीजिए उससे, इन द मीन टाइम आ जाएगा और तब तक आप चालू रखिए. आप तो माँ सरस्वती है, स्वयं माँ सरस्वती है आप.
It's really tough. ठीक है. Good evening, everybody. बायोफ्यूल के बारे में बात करना है तो प्रजापति साहब आपको चरण स्पर्श करके आगे बढ़ती हूँ. मेरा चहिता सूत्र ये है कि बद्ध खेचरताम दत्ते को अन्य सूता कृपा करह. तो अगर महर्षि भारद्वाज जा सकते थे अदर गैलेक्सीज में और गैलेक्सियल हमारा ट्रैवलिंग होता था और वो भी शरीर होता था. वी यूज्ड टू ट्रैवल इंटरगैलेक्सियल एंड दैट टू फिजिकली. एंड कुछ विमान ऐसे बनाए थे महर्षि भारद्वाज जी ने वो विमान संहिता उपलब्ध है, साउथ में काफी काम हो रहा है. South India is working exclusively on it, and different this aeroplane models are coming, different satellite models are coming, and they are saying that such models were prepared by Maharshi Bharadwaja, my Gotradhipati, and those were going intergalaxial, and the fuel that was used was Bharat, mercury. So when my Guruji, Sharma Sahab, used to talk about it, I used to wonder how it was happening. He used to say that if we put Parad Sokti, make a gutika of Parad and put it in the mouth, and that used to give so much energy. Like a Shaktiman, they used to go from one planet to another or one galaxy to another. But Parad could do this wonders only after getting mixed with herbs. Since I'm not a person of Ras Shastra, I have weak point over there. But as per my observations and experiments, I have seen that my people of Kolavada used to collect all cow dung and they used to put it there, and then the smell used to come. So they made a well over that, and from that they started using it. Then that compost on the silt they used as खातर बना के उसका use किया, manure. They used it as manure. And I used to ask them, you're using the gas as biofuel? They said, yes. We are cooking food on it. And that we are using as manure. So if you put the cow dung directly as manure, and if you put this silt as manure, what is the difference? They used to say that this silt, when we put as manure, that white ants don't come and it mingles with the soil easily, and the soil fertility increases very rapidly and it remains sustained. So I said, that's good. So one type of biofuel is that which can be used for cooking. The another biofuel is what we use in vehicles. So I was discussing with Krishnavadan, and my driver used to say, each time I used to say, he used to put his thumbs up. He wants to say that India has already started using biofuel. My driver says, sir, that India has already started using biofuel in cars, in two-wheelers, and we are getting wonderful result. And we are at par with the 19 countries of England, that English subcontinent. And those countries are supposed to be wealthy countries, and they are using ethanol, blending ethanol in petrol, 80-20 ratio. So 80% petrol, 20% ethanol, and that is giving wonderful results. But Krishna wanted to share that, we call him Krishna at home. So he wanted to share that there are certain vehicles made in France and Italy and those countries which use 100% ethanol. And we being a farmer principal economy, if we can afford ethanol, we can get ethanol from all those decomposing things. For example, vegetables, kitchen waste, farm waste, this animal waste. So all that which we are, or even what we are burning, as the previous speaker was speaking, we are burning that husk. Instead of that, if we put it there and we produce ethanol, we can use that ethanol as a biofuel and save our economy, and also that compost can be used as manure. So without spending much money or without doing much physical work, we are not wasting man hours, we are not wasting money, we are not importing things, and we are able to use things which are going to disturb our environment. Because if these things decompose in public, in open, they send out so much smell, and they attract so many pathogens which are harmful to humans, animals, and even plants. So instead of that, we are using it to get decomposed properly, scientifically. We are getting ethanol, also compost manure, and everything is free. So that is one point I would like to share. Another point is we have so many Pongamia pinnata trees in our waysides, roadsides, even in villages. We call it Karanj. It's Parama, Tvacharoga Hara. Those seeds are pressed to get Karanj Taila, which has potency of curing leprosy. And that Karanj tail extracted, then that material which is left behind after expressing the Karanj bija, that material can be used to produce ethanol. And it is said that Pongamia pinnata produces maximum ethanol. So we can use it like that and get wonderful results. Another seed is soybean. So we have started harvesting soybean in a large amount. We can use the soya after taking the oil the same way as Pongamia pinnata. Another thing which I wanted to share was that we can have society biofuel tanks. And those society biofuel tanks can, like that electric vehicle, free fuel so many vehicles in the society or society linked places, and we can benefit from it. One thing which biofuel is ignored is whatever food we take is also called biofuel, and that food nourishes us. Same way, all that fuel or whatever thing which is used for combustion, it can be in the two-wheelers, three-wheelers, four-wheelers, planes, jet planes, satellites, everywhere, is also called a biofuel. So if we are using vegetables, herbs, in vegetables we have that patta gobi, that is cauliflower. Cauliflower leaves give wonderful biofuel. So in seasons like monsoon, the cauliflower are just thrown away as waste because they either get infected, pest लगता है उसमें जीव, और उसको खा नहीं सकते हम लोग. We can't eat it. So the farmers throw it away. So instead of throwing it away, we can use it to produce biofuel. So the farmer does not incur any losses. That's what I feel we can do, work on it. Yes, sir. Yes, and the screen. Need of the hour. Next. Sarji, is the slide with you? Yes, this is the biofuel I was talking orally on. The fuel that is produced over a short time span from, no, second slide, please. Second slide, please. Previous slide. No. Span from biomass, that was what the previous speaker was speaking on, rather than by the very slow natural processes involved in the formation of fossil fuels. So why I am talking about fossil fuels? Because the fossil fuels have been manufactured by long-lasting processes. They may be thousands of years. And now, because we have such a vast human population on Earth, just consuming things, we can't afford waiting for another 1,000 years. So we can't depend on fossil fuels. Since biomass can be used as a fuel directly, Some people use the words biomass and biofuel interchangeability. Biofuel or biodiesel is a liquid fuel produced from renewable sources such as new and used vegetable oils. That is Jatropha oil and all that. Jatropha oil was not responded by the society the way it was supposed to respond. Had the society responded, we would have been ahead of America. America started using Jatropha after us, and they are ahead of us. So it was our society's negligence that we failed in the project. And animal fats, I don't like using animal fats because there may be so much misuse of it, and is a cleaner burning replacement for petroleum-based diesel fuel because it emits less carbon particles. It does not pollute the environment, and that's why it is more environment friendly. Biodiesel is non-toxic and biodegradable and is produced by combining alcohol with vegetable oil, animal fat, or recycled cooking grease. So this is all from the net, sir, and I feel very much good that these words are so much in order with our Ayurvedic text, saying that we can use all these herbs and we add powder to it, that is, we add mercury to it and make mercury more potent with these herbs. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Importance of renewable energy sources. We badly need renewable energy sources. And you can see here that types of renewable energies: biomass, hydropower, wind energy, solar energy, and geothermal energy. Geothermal energy can also be used, and that is in fact costly. Biomass energy is really cost effective, and we are talking more on biomass energy, and that should help us because I'm going to talk on only Ayurveda. Next slide, please. Next slide, sir. Two most common types of biofuels are no. Please, no. Previous slide, please. Previous slide, Sarji. Bioethanol? No. Next slide, please. This one, yes. Please don't change the slide. See, I'm trying to talk on how bioethanol is helpful. You see here pineapple, orange, tomato, potato, and cabbage. So I was talking about cabbage because the cabbage is being wasted in season, and that's why and save the farmer, but gives less fuel. Pineapple are found less. That's why I prefer cabbage. And how does this happen? See, starch or cellulose, enzymes act on it, fermentation happens. Glucose is produced, ethanol and carbon dioxide are produced. This ethanol fuel. This is the chemistry. Next slide. Next slide, sir. Here, I have put the arrows there, and you can see that these are all fruits which are used in India, which are produced in India, grown in India, and in fruit market or even at the fruit. Yeah. I'm not able to read because I'm giving my presentation from my mobile. So you can see all those arrows. So all those fruits are mentioned in our Vedas also. You can see that they manufacture more, and that the green lines are glucose. Please reduce the slide size. Please reduce the slide size. Fig, plum, please reduce the slide size. See, maximum they are giving glucose, then sucrose and fructose. And all of them are micronutrients, and it refers very nicely are included in our use. Diabetics should not eat them. If they eat fruits, they need not eat food. And if they follow that, then diabetes may get raised blood sugar. Same way, use the rotten fruits to manufacture ethanol. We can get more ethanol from them compared to the vegetables. So I wanted to share this slide and this slide, Sarji. See, apricot, banana, pineapple, lemon, pomegranate, ginger fruit, jackfruit, guava, orange. These fruits you can see even on your roads that they are getting spoiled. And if they are spoiled and they are just thrown anywhere, they are causing so much pollution in the environment. Instead of that, if we collectively, all Indians collectively, gather them at one place, and from there it is collected and put somewhere, then we can use it for production of ethanol, and that can be very much beneficial for us, since when we are spending crores of dollars, not Indian currency, to buy this petrol and petrol products. So we can help our country become richer, faster, lesser manpower or lesser stress and strain. Next slide, please. Next slide. Sarji. Sarji, this slide shows the whole process of first stage, second stage, and third stage biofuel production, and that helps us in getting pure ethanol, which we can mingle with petrol and use it. Or we can use directly, we can use that ethanol directly as fuel in our vehicles and save money. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide, sir. Next slide, sir. Ayurveda's role is in, yes, bioethanol production, and we can use the bioethanol in running our vehicles, and we can use algae also. That we have such a big coast and we have so much vegetation there. We can use the algae in producing ethanol, and that also helps us. The algae does not get destroyed, and yet we get ethanol. Next slide, sir. Next slide. Advantages of bioethanol. High oxygen content increases combustive capacity, reduced hydrocarbon and carbon monoxide emission, so helping the environment protection. High octane number, which Krishna used to tell me, is very much needed for a good fuel. And high latent heat of vaporization, this increases the machine capacity, prevents premature ignition and cylinder knocking. That helps maintain the car engines, so the cars become cost effective, maintenance is reduced. Spontaneous ignition in internal combustion engines, when bioethanol petrol blends are used, and which we are actually doing at present. And yes, I have seen that the machines run better. Low energy contents, and that leads to increased compression ratio, decreased burn time, and increased power. So that increases the machine capacity. And so there is less wear and tear. So biofuel helps in all ways. Next slide, sir. Global map showing world leaders in biodiesel and bioethanol production. The upper value shows biodiesel and the lower value indicates bioethanol production in billion liters for the corresponding country. And India has joined the band of leaders thanks to our own efforts. Next slide, sir. Next slide. Next slide. These are the plants which we can use as biofuel: rice, jatropha, palm, Pongamia pinnata, that is our favorite current, and sugar cane. Sugar producers in Maharashtra have given so much
Is there any problem, Madam Parul ji? वैद्य पारुल जी की आवाज बंद हो गई, आप कुछ बोलेंगी पारुल जी? डॉक्टर जयेश ठक्कर जी कुछ बोलेंगे?
हाँ सर, मैडम मैडम आई थिंक म्यूट है।
मैडम म्यूटेड है। मैं तब तक
नहीं भी
जगदीश्वर जी
कनेक्शन
को आमंत्रित करता हूँ,
है।
स्टेज खाली न रहे।
हाँ हाँ।
आदरणीय जगदीश्वर जी। जगदीश्वर जी, मैं ऑडिबल हूँ क्या?
हाँ दादाजी, नमस्कार।
नमस्कार नमस्कार सर।
मेरा विनम्र
कैसे
प्रणाम
हैं?
सभी के लिए।
प्रणाम प्रणाम सर। कुछ बोलेंगे?
नॉट मच, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
तो फिर ये सेशन आज यहीं समाप्त करते हैं। नया सेशन इसी लिंक पर 8:30 बजे फिर शुरू होगा चरक संहिता के लिए। तब तक के लिए मिलते हैं ब्रेक के बाद। थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक यू ऑल।